We're just starting a couple minutes late, but we are all here, we're ready, and we're really excited. So I will get started. For those of you here who I may not have had the privilege to meet previously, my name is Rena Shack, and I'm the director of the Office of Violence Prevention. And I am so excited to actually be here tonight to welcome you to the launch of our Safer Together 614 Violence Prevention and Education campaign. I'm looking in the back, I'm short, so I'm trying to see over these cameras, but it looks like we see so many familiar faces here, and we're so excited that you're all here and grateful for your attendance. I also want to thank President Hightower. I'm not sure if she's here, but to her and her amazing Urban League staff, thank you for allowing us to be in your wonderful facility. Thank you for your partnership. And we also want to thank Donato's for their support for tonight's refreshments. So cheers to Donato's as well. So we always say at the Office of Violence Prevention that our work is for the city of Columbus, right? It's for the residents of the city of Columbus, but it can't be for the city if it's not of the city. And so we created this initiative just directly out of feedback that we have received from the last 2 years of community engagement, whether it was, the mayor's office staff that was out talking to members of the community about this initiative, to our intervention staff, to our partners. The feedback that the community gave us about what they wanted to see from us directly informed tonight. And so we created this initiative to bring together all the residents of the city of Columbus from every corner of the city, every zip code, every walk of life, to unite around the one common goal of reducing and ending violence in our city, which I think everybody here can agree that we're here because of that. The work we do is because of that. Every day we wake up and put our hearts and our passions into the work that we do to get to that goal. Safer Together 614 is an extension of the work that OVP does, an extension of the work that all of our partners do, each and every day to be focused on making Columbus one of the safest big cities in the country. Safer Together 614 is grounded in two truths. One is that awareness leads to action and that knowledge is power. We believe that when we are equipped with education, support, resources, and tools, that we together can create safer spaces and stronger relationships with those around us. We believe that when we're equipped with the proper ways to resolve conflict without resorting to violence, we will help build a culture of peace. Let me say that again. We believe that when we are equipped with the proper ways to resolve conflict without resorting to violence, that we will help together build a culture of peace for our community. Now, I want to be clear, it's going to take collective effort. We all know this. Working with our partners, working with the community themselves, and working with each and every one of you, even those viewers that are watching at home, to achieve the goal for a safer Columbus. And it's a shared goal. I can tell you that every single person we talk to when we're out in the community wants the same thing. They want peace in their neighborhoods. They want peace in their homes. They want peace for themselves. They're tired of the violence. And so tonight's campaign is just another step, another tool in our tool belt to help us get there together. Tonight, we're going to share elements of this initiative, and we're going to outline how we'll continue to connect with the community and all of our partners as a part of this work. You're going to hear some data shared with you and some numbers, but those numbers really only tell you a part of the story, right? The reality is that behind each of those numbers that we talk about is a life. It's a soul. And those have their own stories that accompany the violence. It equates to loved ones lost, to families broken. And so tonight, we're also going to lift up voices of family members who know the harsh realities that come with violence. We'll also hear from our youth and the hopes that they have for a safer Columbus. But none of this work would be possible without all of our partners in this room, and that includes the mayor's office. It was through the mayor's vision for a violence-free city that this office was created. And it is through his continued commitment to do everything possible in his power to create a safe city for all, that we're even able to continue doing this work with all of the wonderful people here today and who are watching and who are constantly taking part in this work. So right now, it's my pleasure to invite up Deputy Chief of Staff Craig Conley from the Mayor's Office to the podium to say a few words on behalf of the office.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm bringing you greetings from Mayor Andrew J. Ginther, the Mayor's Office, and all the administration of the City of Columbus. You know, it goes with saying, not without saying, it goes with saying that we believe that we all need to come together. We all need to come together around reducing violence and to make Columbus safer for all of us. The work around evidence-based and data-driven strategies for violence reduction and intervention from the Office of Violence Prevention has been critical in this effort. We know that our work around gun violence and collaboration with law enforcement, the community, and courts is making a difference. Now, while we've had some significant gains at this work, we don't want to rest on our laurels or be complacent. We have more work to do. Because when we lose one life to any form of violence, be it gun violence, domestic violence, I think we all can agree it's one life too many. This work requires every level of government to make this work. Our work at the Mayor's Office, Columbus City Council, our great partners at the county, from the county commissioners of Franklin County, under the leadership of President Erica Crowley. I'm not sure if she's here tonight, but shout out if you are. The prosecutor's office of Franklin County, Shayla Favor, and all the courts and the judges that make this work. It takes all of us for a safer Columbus and Central Ohio. As we talk about collaboration and partnership, can't go without talking about the Columbus Division of Police and the dedication and selfless efforts they make day in and day out for all of us is critical to violence prevention. So with that, I want to bring up Sergeants James Marable and Terry McConnell from Columbus Division of Police.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming out tonight. Thanks for caring. The speakers before us, you know, they say, together is the only way we're going to make this happen. Nothing that CPD does is going to make this better, safer for us. It takes all of us, and the community is our most valuable partner. So again, thank you very much for coming out and caring tonight. And then some of the numbers that were talked about. In 2025, unfortunately, we've already had 45 homicides. And take a look at the numbers here. 37 of those involved firearms. 14 of those involved arguments and disputes. 9 domestic violence and 4 domestic-related situations. So it becomes very clear we have to become better in conflict resolution and just kind of take a moment. Sometimes the circumstance gets heated. It's better to walk away and leave it, you know, live another day. So just for an example, one of the recent cases that we solved, a young man shot to death on his porch over a parking dispute. You know, one of our non-fatal shootings over a lawnmower dispute. You know, these are the kind of things that we just have to sit back and think, is it really worth it? So again, thank you for working with us. The gains that we've made, our numbers this year are lower than last year. Last year's were lower than the year before. And it's only because of the community working with us. Just the support you've given us has been tremendous. So we appreciate it. We need more of it. So let's not get complacent. Keep it going, and together, we work together to make Columbus safer. Thank you. And I'm going to give a couple minutes for Jim Marable to speak with you as well.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm Sergeant Jim Marable. I'm the Team 1 Homicide Sergeant. Just Really briefly, the community, we really need everyone to step up and keep these guns out of the hands of young people. The young people are so often very impulsive, and when there's a gun in play, just that momentary lapse of judgment or getting all emotional about a situation that just doesn't warrant it, like the two situations Sergeant McConnell just talked about, can absolutely ruin someone's life and take another. One of the things we see frequently out of our investigations is reckless handling of firearms by young people. We see this out of the social media returns we get. So if you are a parent or if you have a member of the community, if you see these kids on social media, this is a great way to monitor what these kids are doing and perhaps prevent something. What we see them doing on social media, frankly, is quite frightening. Pointing muzzles in unsafe directions, their fingers are in the trigger, often manipulating live ammo in these videos. So we know that these are loaded firearms, and they're pointing them at the camera, and we can tell somebody is manipulating the camera. And even when they're not pointing them at each other, they're inside, often inside apartments, or they're out in public, and they're pointing the muzzle in unsafe directions and not clearing it. And all it takes is one slip, and we have yet another tragedy. So please, we need your help keeping the guns out of these young people's hands so we don't even give them the opportunity to make a tragic mistake and destroy their life for someone else's. So with that, I believe Westmore is next.
My name is Wesley Moore. I'm the founder and director of Ours Brothers Keepers. I know I'm going off a little bit. I would like my brother to come up here because he don't get recognized, and without me, there's no him. Without him, there's no me. Stuck up here real quick part.
All right.
First, I want to be honest with y'all. I'm a former member of the Short North Posse in 1994. I controlled over 46 youth in our neighborhood. I was sentenced to 20 years at age 18 years old. Came back home when I was 33 years old. During that time, I learned how to educate myself. Got my associate's degree in business and management. Came home with my brother. My brother was into real estate. I've been homeless all my life, and what I thought was a norm, coming out seeing guns and drugs, it just was a way of life to us. My mom was on drugs. We experienced violence our whole life. So coming outside and seeing somebody get killed, shot, it was just a way of life to us. But once I was incarcerated and been in the federal prison, been all around from Beaumont, Texas to Pennsylvania to Colorado to Oklahoma, I learned how to adapt around different situations and stuff. And when I came home, like my brother's in real estate, we ended up start buying properties and giving at-risk youth opportunities to be sheltered and love and support, something that we didn't experience at a young age. My first time ever hearing my mom tell me she loved me was last year. It was on my birthday, and I'm 49 years old. And it changed me. So every day when we had our program, Monday through Friday, the first time we greet the kids is, "I love you," and to show them the support of what's going on. Monday, I almost just lost my life to a youth that I've been helping for 2 years. I came in there and I feel he's about to get ready to kill me. And we just had a Zoom meeting with Franklin County Children's Service and stuff, and something told me to get up. And as I was getting up, he was reaching the firearm to put it to my head, and we kept on trying to shoot the trigger, but I put my finger behind it and pressed it down and held him down, and my instinct kicked in because I've been seeing violence all my life. But I was able to go home to my family that night. And I'm not mad at him, I love him, and I know he's going through mental health. But I'm truly thankful to have the opportunity just to let him know how important it is for violence prevention programs to keep on going, because these kids love us. They're not at risk. We the ones at risk, not showing them love and support. I'd like to bring up next up Christian McDowell and Jeremiah Darnell and James Stryker for
Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Jamarion. I'm a senior at Columbus Downtown High School, and I'm here to talk about how violence impacted me and how it changed me and stuff. So, when I was young, I used to see a lot of fights and stuff, and I would try to avoid them. And when I started coming into school and stuff, I just kept seeing more and more fights, and like as I kept getting older, and like in high school and stuff, the fights been getting more and more intense and dangerous. And I go to East. My home school is East, so I don't know if y'all heard about what happened there at Franklin Park, but there was a fight there, and a girl got killed and stuff. And it impacted me, but it impacted my mom more. She was very scared for me. She told me to never go around a fight, never go near it. And I guess I just been avoiding fights after that. I've been focusing on my career, on what I wanted to do. Been trying to do good in school, never. Thank you. sorry. But yeah, I just been staying in school. I'm a senior now. I made it, stuff. And I just been working on innovation. I'm in the IT program there, innovative there, and I've been in this different program that we used to go to every Saturday, and we would talk about like violence and like how to de-escalate them. And we had this skit where we was like role playing as like somebody was about to fight, and somebody stepped in and said, "This isn't the right thing to do." And it was entertaining, but like at the same time, I learned something on my own, that you don't have to fight every battle. You can simply talk about your problems. It's a way better relief than throwing your hands on someone or shooting someone or anything. We need to also feel like we should stay together and stop killing each other. The violence gotta stop, for real. And that's it, I'm done.
Good afternoon. My name is Christian. I'm here to talk about gun violence and how it changed my life. Losing a friend to gun violence isn't just something you hear about on the news. It happened to me. It's hard to explain the kind of pain that comes with that. It's confusing, scary, and unfair. You keep asking yourself, why? Why them? Why now? Why do these things keep happening? And most of the time, there's no good answer. I learned that gun violence just doesn't hurt the person who gets shot. It also hurts everyone who loves them. It leaves a hole in your heart, and that hole doesn't go away. I had a chance to be a part of a program that really opened my eyes and helped me grow. Most impactful part was a campaign called Peace Over Pain. It was about encouraging our peers to choose peace instead of violence, hurt, or anger. I had a chance. Throughout my life, I learned that we have a voice. Even though I'm young, my voice matters. Talking about what happened is one way I honor my friend's memory. I don't want to stay silent. Whew. I want things to change. I want us to feel safe. I want people to know that behind every story of a gun violence is a real person, a lost life, and people left grieving. I know I can't bring my friend back, but I can remember them. I can speak up. I can hope that one day no one else will go through what I did. Columbus is my home, and I believe that if more speak up, support one another, and spread peace, not just with words, but action, we really can make our city stronger, safer, and better for everyone. If I had a chance to speak to the mayor, I would say, we need more help for young people in our community. We see violence around us, and sometimes it feels normal. I think the city should give us more safe spaces, places where we can go after school, to be around people who care. We need more youth programs, sports, music, and art. We need more monitors who understand what you're going through and can help us make better choices. I will also ask the mayor to continue to invest in mental health support. Programs like Life Sparks and More Life have helped out a lot. However, a lot of kids are dealing with pain and trauma, but they don't know how to talk about it. If we had more counselors and people we could trust, maybe we wouldn't turn to violence to let our feelings out. Come on, baby. And finally, I would like to say, come visit our neighborhoods, talk to us, hear our stories, understand what we're going through. Because we have ideas, we have dreams, and we want to be a part of the solution. We just need the city to believe in us and give us a real chance to grow. I want to thank everyone a part of the Safer Together 614 campaign. It's about peace over pain, and I want to thank you all for listening.
Wow, like how does anybody go after her, right? That's power. Stay in that. But thanks so much for sharing testimonies and the impact homicides have had on our community with us. Such humbling, important information. Hello, my name is Dr. Joanne Lunsford, and I'm the Deputy Director of the Office of Violence Prevention, and I am so excited to be here with everyone today. All right. Thank you for joining us today, because our hope is to bring a sense of urgency to the issue of violence, because through awareness, we can equip our community with tools for prevention. Violence is a tragedy, period. While the campaign is about awareness and empowerment, we have to understand how we got to this point. You heard the numbers from Sergeants Marable and McConnell. Thank you so much, CPD, for everything you do. These numbers are heart-wrenching as they represent our families, our neighbors, our children, our people, our community. They are us. We're talking about real people with real lives. To paraphrase Maya Angelou, when you know better, you do better. We are saying to each of us here in Columbus, we can do better. And this is how we'll do it. Through collaborating with community agencies and giving them tools and resources to share, by providing training to our youth, adults, and community members, by empowering our entire community with knowledge and tips to help de-escalate arguments and disputes before they turn into tragic, undesirable outcomes. We can make a difference. Believe with us, because peace is possible. We can achieve a safer Columbus. Later this evening, you will get a chance to experience our virtual reality station where you can tell your story on video and more. Please, we need your story. Your story matters. You matter. So please, join along with us on #SaferTogether614. And at this time, I will ask the lovely Miss Siobhan Jones to give us a preview of what we are doing as part of the outreach and awareness efforts.
Uh-oh. I know. All right, hopefully you all can hear me. As Dr. Lunsford stated, my name is Siobhan Jones, and I currently serve in the Office of Violence Prevention. I want to talk to you all a couple minutes about our campaign strategy, which was created to promote awareness and empowerment within our Columbus communities. Since our inception in the OVP office, we have always wanted to formalize and structure our best practices, and our campaign does just that. The education campaign offers de-escalation and conflict resolution strategies to reduce gun violence and other types of violence happening right now in the city. The campaign has multiple elements, including but not limited to working with local media to help spread the word and share success stories, our social media campaign, community engagement, collaborative partnerships with schools, youth centers, faith-based organizations, nonprofit organizations, courts, the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office, and the Franklin County Commissioners. Our resource hub located on the OVP website, shareable toolkits and hot cards, virtual reality experiences, education videos, and billboards and radio. Finally, our community conversations, which have been one of our greatest forms of feedback from our Columbus residents. During our conversations, we have been able to engage with diverse populations on topics surrounding gun violence and domestic violence prevention. Some communities we have engaged with include our youth, New Americans, faith-based, and our Columbus City School staff members. We have been able to gather where barriers exist in current programming, where we could show up more, and the need for tools and resources to address non-favorable behaviors that we have all seen exhibited at high rates here lately among all people. Overall, we heard the community during our listening sessions, and they told us that when they have access to resources, tools, and knowledge to make better decisions, they believe that it will help make their community safer. The Office of Violence Prevention believes that safe, supportive communities start when people have the right tools and resources and are able to participate in training and collaborate with others. Our hope is that this will inspire action, save lives, and create a safer Columbus. Joining us next is Powerhouse State Representative Ms. Latina Humphreys.
All right, good evening. No, see, I feel like you all could do better than that. I said good evening. Good evening. All right, well, as was stated, I am State Representative Latina M. Humphrey. I have the current pleasure of representing Ohio's 2nd House District. So that encompasses East Columbus, South Columbus, City of Whitehall, and then parts of those surrounding cities. Listen, you all, I have got to say, I am over the moon excited to be here with you all today, celebrating this wonderful initiative, Safer Together 614. But listen, I'll be remiss because I think this is so important. I want to make sure that I acknowledge Director Rena Shack, Deputy Director Joanne Lunsford, and all of the staff for all the work that they are doing. But listen, I think it's important that I mention all of those things because I need people to understand. We talked a lot about having partners, and we talked a lot about what the city is doing and a lot about what other entities are doing, but I think it is so very important that people understand some common themes here or some common knowledge. And promise me, if you follow me, I'm going to take you somewhere. I need people to understand that the city of Columbus and any other city can only do what the Ohio legislature allows for them to do. Okay, I'll talk to this side of the room because maybe y'all missed it. The city of Columbus can only do what the Ohio legislature, my job, the Ohio State House, allows for them to do. And so that's so important because it kind of ties together why this Safer Together 614 is so important. I mention those things because my colleagues, my conservative colleagues, I gotta be honest, I gotta break it down because I have to be honest with you all. My colleagues have no interest in investing in gun violence prevention. They have no interest in really investing in anything that has with regard to trying to erase violence in our communities, and specifically have to emphasize our communities. And so it is so important that cities come together, or entities like the Office of Violence Prevention come together and stand united with the community to take a stand and to take chances and risks. Because my colleagues don't have an interest in this. And so if we want to see change as it relates to gun violence, if we want to see change in our communities as it relates to domestic violence, if we want to see change as it relates to mental health needs, or whatever the case may be, drug substance abuse awareness, whatever it is, we as a community have to come together. We have got to come together because I promise my colleagues are not willing to help. Y'all missed it. I'm hyped because it's the truth. They're not willing to help. So that's why community has got to stand arm in arm together. That's why community has got to be willing to invest in Safer Together 614. Because if it is, we do not. You're going to keep seeing the same old, same old. You're going to keep seeing gun violence in our communities. You are going to keep seeing domestic violence issues in our communities. So we have got to join together to address the issues. That is the bottom line. Now, we are doing our best in the OHDC to fight back against extremist policies and all of the attacks, but it will take the community to take a stand and take the community to make a stance. So listen, I am appreciative, over the moon appreciative, because a lot of the statistics that the sergeant mentioned earlier happened in Ohio's 2nd House District. Ask me how I know, because I counted. So we've got to be willing to fight together. I am willing to stand up for you in the Ohio State House, but I cannot do it alone. We cannot do it alone. You want to change your communities? Show up for Safer Together 614. You want to change your community? Show up to the State House, because we need you. Again, I am State Representative Latina M. Humphrey. At this time, I turn it over back to Director Shep.
I hate following Rep. Humphreys because I will never match that energy, ever. Let's just do a round of applause for the entire panel of speakers, please. I know everybody wants to get out there and get some food and start doing the experiences outside, so I'm gonna make this real quick. Speakers, you gotta stay after I'm done so that we can take a picture. But we wanna thank everybody. I'm not gonna name all of you, but you guys, every part of the contributions that you make to not only Safer Together 614, but to this city. We cannot see what is happening right now without the contributions from each of you that spoke, including you two young ones, okay? But also everybody in this room. whether you're just doing work in your neighborhood because you care, or whether you're a part of a CBO or a nonprofit or a city organization or a county court, whatever it is, whatever your contribution is to Safer Together 614, to the safety of our community, but to your family and your friends and your neighbors, it matters. We can't get here without you, and we can't make it better without you. And so to all of you, I say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm going to tear up, and my staff knows that's not easy for me to do, but this work is my life's passion. This work is the passion of every single person on my staff. Making our community better, making our city better, helping our neighbors and our friends is what we live for. We wake up trying to figure out how to do this. And so it's moments like this when we can bring these things together after all the hard work that everybody does to get to a product like this to help our community. It makes every moment worth it. I'm so grateful for every partnership that we have with each of you, for every single one of the OVP staff members. I mean, you name it, the amount of gratefulness that I have, I don't think I can share in words before I start crying, and I don't want to be embarrassed. So I'm going to end it at thank you. But togetherness is the end result here. Togetherness has been what OVP has been about since we started, and togetherness is going to take us to where we all want to be. And so I'm so excited for the content, not only of this campaign, but for the experiences that you all are going to get to have when you go out there, to get just a preview of what we can take to your group, your organization, your school, your faith community. Whatever it is, we will come to you to make sure that the community has these resources. Because you heard from our youth. They see it every day. They live it every day. And if we can get these tools in the hands of the people that are experiencing it every day, and don't get me wrong, that's all of us. It doesn't matter where you live, who you are, how old you are. The tips that are in these toolkits can be applied to you, whether it's your family, your friends, your coworkers. Violence doesn't take one shape, one form, one location. It impacts everybody. It impacts everybody differently, and this can be applied across all specters. So with that, I want to encourage you all, not only to thank you, but I encourage you to go out there, experience what we have for you. It would not be possible without the partnership with OVP from the Saunders PR group, as well as Canvas Consulting, and so I do want to give it up for them, because tonight would not be possible without them. And with that, I leave you guys to it. Thank you.